Hello. Hi, friends. Hey, Ray. I have a new setup. I have a new table. Let's just call it what it is. And I didn't put my computer on risers, so it's a very different perspective. And I don't know if I like it. I might need to put my computer on risers. Hold on. If anybody wants to know like my outfit status right now, it's like a Sophie shorts, a shirt that doesn't match. And I found, this is so not related to art at all, but it's okay. I found compression socks. I have to wear compression socks pretty frequently because of my blood pressure. And I found compression socks that are paintings. So look at those compression socks. How cool is that? Famous painting. Oh, also these are cups. These are my risers. I bought these really pretty plastic cups. Like they're hard plastic. But they lasted like 6 months before they did that in the washing machine. So now they leak. So now they're not cups, they're computer risers. Okay, I digress. Sorry, that's very loud. All right, that's better. Okay, well, I don't know how many people are watching. But we're here, and we're gonna paint this cutie patootie. Look at him, or her, or them. I don't know their gender, so but I've named them Toots. And they're super cute. All right, guys, this new setup that I got that I was just talking about is a table on wheels. Very exciting. I'm a little hyper today. Thank you. Thanks. I don't know that it's even, like, at all, but you know, you get by. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I didn't put a supply list or anything this time. I feel like the same people are taking these classes that usually do, so you know by now that you should have like 2 different size brushes and whatever paints you got around, and you are so not obligated to make this painting or this background blue or anything. You do you. But I'm gonna make them blue because I'm kind of feeling, I keep making blue paintings and saying that I need to get more blue paint and have not yet. So I'm gonna get my background going here with some blue and a whole lot of white. There's like barely any blue in this background. It's mostly white. We're gonna get some white. Gonna need a lot of white. Oh, let me also say early on in class, I'd like to start. It's almost like fall time, and it's pretty much spoopy season. So, and I'll post this on Twitter and stuff too. But if you have been sticking with my theme of like just red, yellow, blue, white, black, that's awesome. But if you can afford to grab, even if it's like cheap, like dollar apple barrel paint, if you can grab some different browns and an orange so that you don't have to constantly mix orange, because you know we're going to be painting some pumpkins and some like fall things. So please get those colors if you can. Also, maybe some metallic paint. I kind of want to paint something with metallic paints. Okay. I'm very distracted today. I apologize. But we're going to get a cute penguin friend. All right, I'm going to get my background brush. I'm going to clean them off. I'm going to mix a decent amount of this light blue shade. So for me, that's going to be a lot of white and just a little bit of blue. We want it to be like an icy blue, like maybe a sky blue, maybe even a little bit lighter. Okay, but then what I want you to do is you can kind of just scrape the excess paint off of your brush and grab a little, like wash your brush off and grab a little water. You don't have to like dry your brush off because we're just mixing the wateriness into a little bit of this color. We're making paint soup. Now, usually when we make paint soup, and we're going to make paint soup later again, usually it's to do the splatter painting, but we're going to just do like a real quick little drawing shape of Toots. And we like to do that with paint soup, so we're not like super committed to it. It's not solidly painted. So I've got this light blue on here, and I'm just going to decide how tall I want Toots. And he's pretty much, I would say, like 2/3 of the way up the canvas. And then I'm just going to make a frowny face. And now this is like very much subject to change. As you're painting, you may say, oh, I made Toots too small, or oh, wow, he's really big. I need to get more of my background color. And that's fine. But I'm just gonna, after the frowny face, I'm just gonna pull it down and in just a little bit. Yeah, that's a good base to start at. I always like to go a little bit smaller than I think I'm going to want it, because whenever you paint and you have to like change your, or fix or edit your edges of something, it's always going to grow. So Toots is going to be a little bigger than that, but that's a good place to start. And the reason I've done this is because I don't want to paint my background here, because it's just going to take so much longer to dry before I can start painting my penguin friend. So I'm just going to skip that area for now and just go in with my background everywhere else. So that's my next step, is painting my background. Yes, Tasha, you will be painting pumpkins. Probably multiple types of pumpkins. I enjoy a good pumpkin painting. And I have plans for the metallic paint that I know you will enjoy. Specifically Tasha, but I hope everybody enjoys it as well. So if you can get, like when I say metallic paint, I mean you can get any color. I think I'm planning on using like gold and silver, but get whatever color makes you happy. For what I'm planning to use it on, the sky's the limit. So you can get whatever you'd like. Well, that's darker. Oh well. Your background can be like perfectly even and smooth, or it could be textured. It really doesn't matter. It's just kind of like a filler background. We don't have anything super interesting going on. We are going to do some splatter snow, but that's about it. So I would say in general, I'd go for a more flat finish, just so that Toots kind of stands out. But if you've got like a couple different shades of blue that you mixed and they're kind of commingling, that's cool. So, background time means chatting about TV. However, I haven't been watching TV lately. I've been watching movies. I've been starting, I know, you all are going to come for me, but I finally caved and started watching the Marvel movies. Don't like spoil me. I just finished phase 1, apparently. Is that what they're called? They're called phases, right? I hate, and like, I don't use the word hate often. I mean, lightly, hate Thor, like the movie. Also don't really enjoy him personally. Don't really enjoy Loki. I don't know what. I know apparently the other movies with them are better, and I should reserve judgment. But based on, I now have paint all over my arm. Yep. Based on the Thor movie and the Avengers movie, I don't like them. Sorry, guys. In case you are wondering what I like. Okay, that's fair. Captain America is my favorite movie so far, even more so than the Avengers. So that's my stance on where I'm at so far. So what have you guys been watching? Anything good? Anything exciting? Loki redeems himself. I mean, it's not even just that he's like a villain, because I can like villains. I just like, I may have no personal connection to either of them. I don't like the interplanetary thing. Like, it's just. You mean besides Hamilton? Yeah. I don't know. I just don't. It's just not my cup of tea, which is weird because I enjoyed Doctor Who. So you'd think I would like that brand of like sci-fi. Actually, that's a good point. So Caitlin is in this chat. I'm pretty sure Caitlin is watching this. And we had an epic debate over, well, no, I agree with Caitlin, but she was having an epic debate over if the Marvel movies are sci-fi. So if you're paying attention in the comments and you were not part of that initial conversation, I'm curious what you think if the Marvel movies are sci-fi, like sci-fi first, like yes, Caitlin and I think that they are sci-fi. Although I will say I don't think Captain America is, and I'm not too sure about Iron Man. I don't know, but like in general. Yeah, he's a science experiment, but like science. Okay, I guess I really like conflate sci-fi with fantasy, and I don't consider Captain America fantasy. I don't know. I don't know like if there's actual definitions for this, and I'm just wrong, which is entirely possible. This is not an area of expertise of mine, movie genres. Like I would consider Captain America a war film. Like that would be the genre. And then like he's only a superhero because he's a science experiment. Like he would still be the hero of the story even if he didn't change. You know? Like he was a hero from day one. So I don't think that like the science experiment just made it so that it's harder to kill him. Like, does that make sense? I don't know. I feel like we should have like an actual conversation where we can all talk, not just where you're watching me paint my background, which always takes me 5 years longer than all of you. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Oh, so also unrelated to Marvel, I responsibly, with a mask and social distance, did a non-essential shopping trip today, and I felt dirty, like literally and theoretically. That's not the word I was looking for. But anyway, I don't know how people are just going about their lives because like I went to Target to get curtains and I felt like an awful human being. And also disgusting. Also, I'm in a very high risk household, so anytime I go out like and interact with humans, I immediately come home and shower. So the dirty thing is like I'm always gonna feel dirty going out in the world right now. But is anybody else experiencing that? Like when they go out besides to go to work or get groceries, like, or is it just me? Yeah, literally, like, I hate it. And I really hate that we're like, well, I don't want to say we, because that I feel like I am contributing to so many other problems by using like resources like Amazon so much. But like I really need things besides just groceries. And Amazon is an awesome resource for that. But then I feel like, oh gosh, I'm making these people work harder than they need to by placing these orders for things that are not really necessary all the time. I don't like it. So I was just curious how you all felt about that. Okay, my background is done. Yay! I just spilled my Gatorade all over me. People make me yes. I always feel like, especially because I live in the South, I'm always very nervous that like there's going to be like that asshole and they're going to come cough on me or something. I don't know. I just feel like I've had very good interactions with people so far. Like everybody's been wearing masks. Well, everybody's been wearing masks since they mandated it. Let's just be real. But yeah, I'm always like just trying to get in and out as fast as possible because I don't trust anybody here. Yes. Yeah. Sherry, I agree with the keeping people employed, but like, do I like, that's a whole nother story and a whole nother topic and a whole nother issue of keeping people employed in less than ideal situations, which sucks, but that's where we're at in the United States, at least. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. I got these new glasses and they are, they're not progressive, but they're called anti-fatigue. So like my distance vision prescription is like here and then it fades to clear glass because I don't need a reading prescription. So I'm trying to figure out how to read comments and see at the same time. Oh yeah. I feel like, yeah. Books though, there are certain things that are not essential, but that are necessary, you know? So I think that that's okay. Like, for example, I'm going to physical therapy for various parts of my body. So I needed those like stretchy bands and one of those like blow up ball things. So like their exercise equipment, I've been using air quotes all day. Their exercise equipment, which isn't really unnecessary, but it is. So yeah, I feel like we're all just going to have a lot of guilt after all of this. Okay, Toots time. So black. Now again, if you want to paint your penguin a different color, go for it. There we go. So I'm going to stick traditional this time. I've got my black. Personally, I'm going to paint the whole thing black. In theory, it would be so much easier if you did your shape first and then painted black around that so that you could just paint the white and not wait for the black to dry. However, your shape here is probably going to change a little bit as you like finesse it. So I don't want you to feel like pigeonholed that like, oh, if your penguin gets 50% bigger and then you have this teeny tiny face right here. So I'm just going to paint it black. Again, if you're using another color, go for it. They really just have to be like a dark color and a light color so that you can see the contrast of the face. Yes, mental health is very important. I am currently taking a break, as much as one can take a break from Twitter because it is an ugly place. And for many reasons, but yes, you have to do what is important and right and what feels good for your mental health, as long as it's not like hurting someone else or yourself. None of that. All right, so I'm still using my background brush because the space for Toots is pretty big. So I wanted a nice big brush. Again, to get a clean edge, you can turn a flat brush on its side so that it has that clean line. If anybody has found, speaking of Amazon, if anybody has found brushes that they really like, I would love to know, because I bought these brushes at the start of quarantine because mine were all shot, and I really hate them. Uh, I've been like trying to pinpoint what I didn't like, because I've been having trouble like getting the paint to lay how I want it to, cleanly, etc. And I thought that it was the paint I was using, but I went back to when I was using these like Blick paints, which is what I used to use at my paint studio, and I had no complaints whatsoever when I was there. And so now that I'm using those again, and it's still not performing well, I think it's the brushes. So yeah, if anybody really enjoys the brushes they're using, please let me know. All right. It's gonna be so cute. I'm trying to do a nice thin coat so it dries fairly quickly. Because it's totally fine if it picks up a little bit of the black when we do his face and belly. But I don't want it to be like gray. So I want to do a nice thin coat so that it dries quickly. And we can avoid that. Okay. So I mentioned earlier that I got this new table on wheels. Also today, like I said, today was a non-essentials thing. So before this, I'm very distracted today. Prior to today, I had a table, a desk that was fairly lightweight, and that was what I've been working on since I've been working from home. So whenever I did this class, I would have to take my work computer, keyboard, mouse, all of that off of the desk, and I would pull it forward to the side of the room to do this. And it wasn't a big deal, but it was like kind of annoying me. And I was like, I would really just like a smaller computer table, something on wheels that I can pull in, pull out, and then not deal with my main desk. So I couldn't find anything that wasn't super duper expensive or, like computer desk looking. I didn't want like one of those like rolling laptop desks. I don't know. So I found this really cute, well, it's not that cute in person, but what I thought was this really cute like vintage rolling, I thought it was like a dinner, like a snack table, but it's bigger. It's gotta be from the 70s, maybe older. And so I found it on Facebook Marketplace. And I've sold a couple of things on Facebook Marketplace since quarantine started, and I just like left it outside and had the person put the money in my mailbox kind of thing. But I hadn't gone and bought anything since quarantine. And so I went to go get it. And I'm about to get a little political. You can tune me out if you disagree with me, that's fine. But I pulled into this person's house and they had Trump and Pence. Well, Trump goes with Pence. lawn signs, and I almost turned around. I was like, do I really need to be buying something from them? But I drove like 15 minutes out there, and I didn't want to waste the gas for nothing. So I bought it. And the description was like super sturdy, blah 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 blah. I put it in my car. I go to take it out when I get home, and one of the wheels broke in half. But like, it's very old, and this particular wheel looks like it was chewed on by an animal. So anyway, it broke in half, and I had to glue it. So if I suddenly fall over, it's because the wheel broke again. Okay. All right, so once Toots is painted with his or their main color, we're gonna give him, I keep gendering him. We're gonna give them arms. Are they fins? Do penguins have fins? Wings? Is it wings? I guess they would be wings. Sneer me had a Trump flag and it got wiped out by the hurricane. Oh my god. Bless Mother Nature. I hope everybody was okay. But that's fantastic. Yeah, I guess it is wings. That makes sense. I don't know why. Like penguins are birds, of course it's wings. Okay. So for these little wings, I think that they are like about halfway down their body. So I'm just gonna go out here and kind of pull it in like that. And then I'm gonna follow this across. And you could be doing with this with a skinnier brush. I don't really know why I'm still using this one, but it's fine. So I'm gonna follow this across so I get approximately the same height, and then like kind of eyeball how many fingers out it is, and then I'm gonna pull it in. And they're not gonna be the same, and that's fine. Your arms are not the same on both sides of your body, so why would Toots' wings? No humans hurt. Good. Good to know. Even if they are Trump supporters. Okay. So now we're just gonna like kind of make these guys triangles. And that can also help to even them out as you go. So if one ended up being a little bit, like I feel like this one looks a little shorter and more curved in. So I'm gonna like flesh it out a little bit by pulling it down and making it wider down like that. And then this one, I can do more on top. Just kind of even it out. So we're just getting it wider near their armpit. And you could try to make them even, but they're not going to be perfect. Like it's just not possible unless you have like a stencil. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah. This is like flipped for me, so trying to figure out like on here what doesn't look even, and then it was throwing me off. Okay. And you can make them chunkier. These guys are kind of long and skinny. Yeah. Okay, it looks really scary right now, but once he has a cute face, it's fine. Okay. So now you kind of need to wait for him to dry. I'm gonna take out my hair dryer. If you have your hair dryer handy, you can absolutely use it. I'm gonna mute myself because it's very loud. But I'm just gonna get that middle area to be dry so that we can continue. Feel free to ask me any questions flippers. I wonder if they are flippers. Like a seal? I don't know. I'll have to Google that. Okay, dry time. Oh no, can I not mute my? Oh, there it is. Okay, mine's mostly dry now. I am going to switch to my skinnier brush, my Spencer brush, which is like a thinner round brush. Like this guy. Now, if you have chalk, you may want to chalk your shape first. I'm just going to wing it. But feel free to chalk it if you so need. Now, it's pretty much a heart. Pretty much. The point of where the top arches of the heart meet does not actually touch. So we're going to leave some space in between, and then it's just going to come down to the middle. So I'm just going to kind of place where their nose is going to be, just to like give myself a frame of reference. I think right there should be good. And then where do I want the arches? I'm going to say maybe like here. And then where do I want it to meet? It's going to be down in the middle. So just to give myself, well, it's really uneven. Just to get that looks really scary. But just to give myself some markers here. And then I'm going to go swoop. For some reason, there are certain ways that I can move my brush that are so much easier than others. And I don't know if that's an everybody thing or if that's how my brain works thing, but this down is hard for me. So I do the arch to here and then I like pulling it up. If you work the opposite way, that's totally fine. But like, maybe it's also just the position of my body makes it difficult. But for some reason, I find in this instance, painting up to be easier. And that's super uneven, and that's fine because I'm going to paint it in and then we can even it out. You can go back to your big background brush to do that, or you can keep using the little guy, whatever is up to you. Yes, you can also flip it around. That is a thing that is easier for many people. To do the same motion in two different directions is kind of like weird. So we would do that. Particularly when working with, which I haven't done much of, but particularly when working with a palette knife, because people paint with that, among other things. It's because that's like really all in your wrist, and it's really hard to go like that way with it. So turning your canvas around is usually easier. Yes, hair dryers are essential. I used them the first couple of classes and then I stopped because I would just talk instead. But sometimes you just need to get a blow dryer and get it dry so that you can move on. You can see I'm kind of evening out these arches as I go, both for shape, height, size, all of that. So this guy I kind of pulled out more, and I'm not sure I like that. I think I prefer this straight down. So I think I'm going to paint this in and not really get the white too close to that. And then I'm going to go over it with some more black to kind of trim that off. And now I personally like, there's going to be some like streakiness where you can kind of see the black through and it gives it like a little bit of like a gray streak quality. I like that. If that really is not your jam and doesn't look like as clean as you want it, if you want it to be like really obviously white, black, solid kind of deal, you can do 2 coats. I like when a little bit of the black pokes through. I think it looks like softer. So yeah. But if you feel like you need to dry 1 coat and then put another coat of white in there, you totally can. Well, I guess I didn't dry that area of black enough. No, he's just turning gray. All right, I'm gonna let that dry more. I'm running out. Gotta get more white paint. Well, actually, maybe I need to do that touch up I mentioned first. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and kind of clean this up because I don't like how far out I arched that. Beautiful. Actually, I noticed another spot I want to touch up, which you could do this at any point too. So if you feel like you went too far somewhere and you want to kind of go back and clean it up with a little bit of black, feel free to do that. If you already painted it white, you may need to dry your canvas. So I'm going to dry that little spot that is turning gray so that I can get it to be white. All right. All right, let's see if I was successful. Oh, I need more white. That's right. I forgot. I know why I'm hyper. Because I have tomorrow off. Usually I'm like, I need to rest on Saturday, and then Sunday's my like get things done day. But then after this class kind of like winds me down, and then I like go into rest mode and get ready for work. My work is not like physically demanding or even really demanding at all. It's just emotionally draining. For no reason. I work for a bank. Like there's no reason it's supposed to be emotionally draining. We're just very busy. And yeah, so I am not going into work mode because I know I have tomorrow off, and therefore, like, I get an extra day of actually doing things because I don't need as much recovery time. All right. So once you've got your like face belly carved out here and painted to your liking, we can start to give the face part, like the actual face, not just the white part. So what I'm gonna do, because I just painted this, I'm gonna actually mix myself some orange for the beak and feet. So we're gonna get some yellow. It's gonna be mostly yellow. If you have orange paint, you can skip this and just use orange. And some red. Yes, emotional breaks are important. I don't think I gave myself anywhere near enough yellow. I also redid so this room that I'm in is like my art room studio thing, painting and everything. But it's also where I've been working since I've been working from home. So I found myself like not wanting to be in here when I wasn't working my regular job, which completely defeats the point of having a room to paint in. Like, that's a super awesome privilege that I have, that I had this guest room that I could make my space. So what I did today was I reorganized everything and I threw that desk, now that I have this rolling one, I threw that desk in the closet. So now my work office is my closet. It's like a regular closet. It's not like a walk-in. Like, it's just a desk now, and it like barely closes with my office chair in there. But it's fun because now I can put work behind a door and just have fun art things. So yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take some white because we're going to need white to cover up all these shenanigans, and a bunch of yellow and a little bit of red. And I'm going to make myself some orange. Okay. Now their feet are really easy. They're just little semicircles down here on the black part of the bottom of his body. So I'm just gonna boop and boop. You may need 2 coats depending on how much white you mixed in. It's really up to you how you like it. If it's a lot of yellow and not a lot of white, you're gonna have a hard time seeing it. So you definitely need to add some white in there so that it covers up the black. Now, the nose is just a little like stretched out diamond. So it's going to go and cover up this little weird area where the 2 arches meet. So I'm just going to kind of sketch it out here. And kind of fill it in. It doesn't have to be perfect or any particular proportions or anything like that. You can have a big beak or a little beak. It's really up to you and what your paint feels like doing. I will take physically draining over mentally or emotionally draining any day. Yeah. So yeah, I can't do physically draining. Although I do agree, because I feel like if I were able to do physically draining, I would have a whole lot more, I would have less trouble sleeping at night because I would just be so damn exhausted, I'd just knock out. And like I said, working customer service at a bank should not be emotionally draining on a daily basis. But the particular situation that I'm in, or that my bank is in, is emotionally draining. And it may not be emotionally draining for everybody, but it is for me. So there's that. And I am very happy to now put it in a closet and be able to close the door. Although I do need to get a light in there because it's kind of dark and dreary. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's see. I'm going to do the splatter paint Snow first before we put his eyes in, because I just don't love I know that the snow can be on him, but I like the idea of the eyes just being black. So we're going to make some paint soup. So again, that's taking your big brush or a bigger, I prefer flat for paint soup. I just think it's easier to flick. Make sure your brush is clean, and we're gonna take some water, mix it with some white paint until it's like the consistency of skim milk. If your water is dirty and it's kind of making the white look gray, that's fine. You will not be able to tell once it's on the canvas. And then you're just going to flick. Now I'm going to try to aim it mostly to the background, but Toots is just hanging out in the snow, so they're gonna have snow on them. I've been misgendering this penguin all class, and it's horrible, and I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna start up here and just kind of get my snow going. And again, you can do as much or as little of this as you like. I love splatter paint. I say it every single time, but it's just so fun. It's just a nice, easy way to add some texture and something interesting in your mostly background, but not have a ton of like actual skill required. Oh, that was a big one. Don't forget the bottom. Snow goes everywhere. Okay, I think I like that amount of snow. I've got a drippy guy. All right, excellent. We're almost done, guys. I just lost my paintbrush. How does that happen? Like, genuinely, I don't... Like, you guys can see where I'm working. It's just this jug. And then I had 2 paintbrushes and now I have 1. What the heck? If anyone knows where my paintbrush is, feel free to tell me where I put it. What the heck? All right. I'll just use another one. I need another Spencer. All right, I'll just take a skinnier Spencer. Check by your jug of white paint. White paint. No. It's okay. It can't have gone anywhere. I just am ridiculous. All right. So we're going to do Toots' eyes. So I'm just going to grab some black. And now I think the like frowny faces for the eyes make like happy look, because like your cheeks come up and then your eyes are like this. I've done where it's down too. That's more of like a sleepy chill look. So if you wanted to have like a sleepy chill penguin, you can do smiles for eyes, which would be like sleepy. But yeah, so that's why You could also do open eyes, and don't forget to like put the little, like if you just do black circles, you can put a little dot of white in them for like to have that little like light reflection to give your penguin a soul. You can do that as well. But I like my little smile faces. Okay, so they're just gonna go kind of like right in the center of the arches here. And you're just gonna do one and then do your darndest to make it kind of sort of even on the other side. There's really no great plan here. So I just kind of follow and eyeball it. Again, I can't go this way like I did with this one. I mean, I could if I flipped my canvas maybe, but so I'm going to go in the other direction. And then I can just kind of, well, that attempt to make it even failed because now it's giant, but that's okay. Maybe he has big, thick eyes. That's kind of cute. It doesn't have to be this thick. I just screwed up and made him too chunky. But that's it, guys. I mean, unless you want to go put another coat of your orange, that's all she wrote. Let me know if you like this kind of stuff, like these cutesy little animals. If you prefer landscapes, you can tell me that. You can tell me on Twitter. You can tell me anywhere, really. But yeah, that's all for today. I would say if you're choosing to get some new paints, I would try for some like metallics for next week. Like silver gold, or you could do like a metallic blue might look cool for what I'm planning. But yeah, try for some metallics. Or if you can only grab one, just grab one metallic. I would say probably silver would be like the one that I would grab if you were just looking to get one paint. Also, for browns, I think I've talked about this a couple times, but it's something that we should probably start using, our browns, especially with fall coming up. So here are 3. You don't really need all 3. You really don't. But here are 3 things that I use most frequently. So, and I'll post this too because I feel like everybody should know. Raw sienna. This is like a peanut butter color. It generally is very thin and needs to be mixed with white. And when you mix it with white, it becomes a like sandy color. So this is really helpful for like highlighting browns and also painting sand if we do a beach scene. So raw sienna is something that's kind of essential in my opinion. I also like the umber family. So and I like it burnt. So there's burnt umber. There's also, this is not focused anywhere, but burnt umber. There's also raw umber. So burnt umber is like a warmer, more reddish brown. I just think it mixes better, in my opinion, than raw umber. Raw umber is more cool tone. So if you like mix it with white, it becomes a little more gray. If you mix this with white, it becomes a little bit more tan. So burnt umber. You can also like get raw umber, that's fine. And then burnt sienna. So there's raw sienna. So burnt umber looks the exact same. It like if you are not super familiar with paint, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between burnt sienna and raw sienna, besides what I just described. I'm sorry, umber. But burnt sienna and raw sienna are 2 very different colors. So burnt sienna is a very reddish brown mixed with white, kind of turns into that like terracotta color, like that creamy reddish orange brown. So that's what I would get. Burnt sienna, burnt or raw umber, and raw sienna. That's just my opinion. But if you could just grab, like if you could only afford to get one and we need like an actual brown, I would say to do the raw or the burnt umber because that's like a true brown. The other stuff we can kind of mix things into to make it. But yeah, grab yourself a raw or burnt Umber, if you can. All right, I rambled this entire class, and I'm very sorry for my attention span. But look at your cute penguin friend. And please post him or them or her. I don't know. I didn't ask. Please post the picture on Twitter so I can see it. I know I'm not really on Twitter right now, but I will go check and I will like all of them and I will like retweet all of them because they make me happy. And there should be more happy on Twitter. I love you, and I will see you next week. Bye.